I thought I would talk on a few things today. It's been a little while since I've done a recording. I've been kind of going through a lot of stuff as usual. Well, if you're kind of working on yourself and you've been through as many changes and challenges that I've recently been through, it really shakes you to your core and gets you to think about things. So, a little bit of story of what I've been going on. Again, I had a meeting with a job coach that works for Manpower the other day, and they were very impressed with me. And they're going to start helping me to look for work, which is a really positive note. And in the middle of that meeting, I realized how, that she wanted to talk about stuff, and I ended up doing a bit of life coaching for her, and she really loved that. And then she wants me to speak to her boss and talk about my options, which is amazing. And I've also been getting rid of things, starting to sell things. Well, Anna's been helping me to get rid of things, to help her to pay her debt off. And I've started doing a bit of work on my camper van, and I've got a few things happening with that, which has been really cool. So if we don't have anywhere to live at the end of the month, not this month, next month. So I've got just over a month to find somewhere to live. I'm trying to work that out, and either that, if the weather's amazing, we might just stay a couple of weeks in the camper van while we're looking for something. Who knows? And do a little bit of traveling at the same time. I'm just leaving, the channels open to see what happens. And what's most important, what I've been going through with my relationship with Anna and people in my life, and trying to kind of understand who I am, what I represent as a person, and how important it is for me to try to understand the dynamics of relationships that I get involved in. And realizing that I have elements of, a bit like my brother. My brother's got Asperger's condition. I think I've got elements of that, and it's coming to terms with that. I've got elements of that. It doesn't affect me in certain ways, but it does in other ways. So I can see that definitely. I'm kind of learning about who I am and what I want to represent as a person. That's been really tough for me because I've had to start getting rid of stuff. And the stuff I've been getting rid of is to try and be more humble, to try and realize that I create the reactions in people as much as they create the reactions in me. We're all responsible for this, in the dynamics of our life, how we interact on a daily basis. I've started doing a mindfulness course, and on the mindfulness course I kind of know a lot to do with that. I don't know whether many people know, but I've been studying Buddhism for the best part of 20 years, maybe longer. I'm a practicing Buddhist. I believe in many different formats of religion, but that's the one that fundamentally works for me best. And to be mindful for me is like I am now, really thinking about my words. I've not got no preempted script here. I just turned the video on and I felt like I needed to talk about things. So mindfulness to me is to try and be really conscious of the words I'm going to use, the tone I'm using, the way I use this. Because if I talked a bit like this, or if I was talking really fast all the time like this, and I was talking so fast that nobody could actually keep up with me, you really have to be conscious of how you speak to somebody. The emphasis of the words you use are really important to give weight, to give depth, to give passion, to give emotion, to give structure, to give flow to what you're wanting to project to these people that you talk to. Mindfulness comes from every action, every word, every thought that you use. To be conscious of this. And to use my breath to actually give myself the grounding I need. So as I talk and as I work through these words, I'm keeping myself as calm as possible and allowing myself to give you the best content I can. That was all done in one breath. And I'm learning to do this, to hold my breath in, to hold myself down, to hold myself into a position, into an energy, into a format, to project this energy the best I possibly can towards whoever is talking to me. Presenting yourself is the hardest thing you will ever learn to do, and to be mindful of that. It's so easy to represent a product, to represent an idealism, to represent a concept, to represent anything else. The hardest thing you will ever learn to do is to represent yourself in a positive, clear, unbiased, loving, caring, open manner. To be mindful of how you project yourself and how that affects the people around you takes practice, takes time. We perceive the world from the inside out, not the outside in. We perceive everything. We sense emotion from the inside out. The most important thing to be truly mindful is not just to use the mind, not just to use the heart, but to also use your gut feeling, to bring everything in alignment, to stop you from swinging from one emotion to another, from happy to sad. Stop trying to grasp at these things. Be mindful of how these things affect you, and be mindful of how much you want them to affect you. Mindfulness is not just a practice, it's a choice you make. It's a choice you take to react in a positive way, but also truthful. Just to be positive and loving and caring doesn't mean you have to be weak and not stand your ground. It means you also can stand for truth. But you only really can stand for a truth when you become a truth. The hardest thing is to find out what is true for you and how you represent that and how that affects people in your lives. You can't make everybody happy in your life, but you can make you happy, and hopefully people will be happy for you being happy. Some people won't be. Some people will generally try to bring you down because of their misery, their pain. A hurt person hurts a person. We have to take responsibility on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, as many of those minutes in that hour as possible to be conscious. You might find it hard just practicing this for a few minutes every hour, a few minutes every day. But expand on that, and eventually you can be mindful through almost all of your actions until you become mindful of all of your actions. People just do, and then they go, I didn't mean that. What they're really saying is, I wasn't conscious of what I was doing. So by being more mindful, you'll be more conscious of what you're doing, and you'll upset less people. And you'll be valued more as a human being in the environment that you're a part of. If you want respect from people, respect yourself and give yourself some love. So I hope you've enjoyed my cast today. It's been a really tough week. And all I can do is do my best to be the best I possibly can and to be a little bit better every day. Sending you some love from Sweden, from me to you. I hope you have an amazing evening, or day, or morning. Thank you.